Hey there guys, NintendoPSX here, and welcome back to another Hyrule Warriors discussion / analysis. Now, the reason why I didn't do this immediately when the news went up is because I wanted to get everything possible. I wanted to know everything, I wanted to wait for the screenshots to actually delve into and learn rather than just say, hey, these guys are playable, 5-minute video. So, here we go. It's probably going to be a little bit of a longer video, but I hope you guys will put up for it because there's a lot of new news that I find personally exciting. So let's begin. First off, one of the new characters announced is Sheik. So the first thing that came to my mind was, why? Zelda's already on the field fighting, why do we need a Sheik? But then I came to realize, oh, this might be the Ocarina of Time Sheik. This might not just be this game's Zelda turning into Sheik. And I really just think that this is this game's Ocarina of Time Sheik, because it was unveiled with Ruto and Darunia, who I will get into later, and those are both Ocarina of Time characters, so it would make no sense to unveil Sheik at the same time as those characters. It'd rather make sense to put them randomly, or not at the same time, sort of like Lana or Fi. So first off we have Sheik. Sheik looks like she plays with kunais. She has various ones on her waist that you can see. And it seems that that's going to be her primary form of attack, but there's also points where we see her playing the harp, and you can see different elements like a fiery explosion or a water spout from the ground. And this came to my mind. I'm like, why would that happen? I'm like, oh yeah, the Serenade of Water and the Bolero of Fire. So I'm guessing that the different songs that she taught Link in Ocarina of Time are going to be usable as combat in Hyrule Warriors. It's really interesting because I'm like, oh man, you could use the I forgot what it's called, but the one that, you know, calls down the light and brings you to the Temple of Time. Like that could just call down like a big spark of light. Like there's all these different forms of different songs that can emulate a form of attack, and even the same goes for the one with the Shadow song, Nocturne of Shadow. I think that's what it's called. That one could definitely be used to, like, you know, maybe sneak through your enemies or have like a cloud of darkness just sweep them up. Like there's so different many ideas that could be used with playing the songs on the harp. Now next off we have Ruto, Princess Ruto of the Zoras, who is also from Ocarina of Time in her adult form, and we see her do a lot. She's doing quite a lot of stuff here. We first see her doing like this tidal wave kind of move where she seems to control water. It doesn't make much sense, but you know, it's cool nonetheless. And then one of the other moves she does seems to call down like ice or water spears from the heavens that, you know, come crashing into the enemy, or they come from the ground. It's hard to tell, but I would assume they come from the sky. Another one, she does like a water tornado. I know there's a name for that, I just don't know what it's called, water tornadoes. But there's definitely one of those that she's creating. Another one she does, looks like she can change her water into animal forms, even though there's no like dolphins in The Legend of Zelda. We see these weird dolphin looking creatures in that she can morph out of the water, which is actually really interesting. Like the way they've made her play, I'm very, very interested in Ruto. Like at first I didn't care too much about her, like, oh, maybe she's gonna just generate tidal waves, but the way they're generating her with this water element is really, really interesting. And then next off we have our good friend Darunia, and we saw Darunia in Ocarina of Time once again. He is the Goron Patriarch in that game. But for this game, he's not just looking to be like a fist fighter. It looks like he also has the ability to use the Megaton Hammer, an item that you would get in the Fire Temple as adult Link. The Megaton Hammer is sporting a different design, but you could definitely tell it is the Megaton Hammer, or at least a different variation of it. Oh look, there's a Poe in that picture. Huh, okay, Poes are enemies, I didn't know that. Anyways, the Megaton Hammer looks like it just, you know, just decimate your enemies. You could do like a lava burst, lava eruptions, flares. It looks really, really interesting. But then there's also pictures of him with just his fist, and him becoming a big Goron for some reason and rolling through just the entire, just, you know, barrage of enemies. So it doesn't look like the Megaton Hammer is going to be his only source of attack, but I think it's going to be his primary form of attacking. So, one thing I forgot to mention with Sheik is that there is a story picture with Sheik, which kind of made no sense to me, and it's a picture of Sheik fighting Zelda, the Zelda of this game. And I first thought, like, why is this happening? Like, why is this a thing? Why are they fighting? But then the next picture shows Zelda, or excuse me, Sheik using the Mirror of Truth. And now, if you guys know what the Mirror of Truth is, it allows you to see the true way of things. So if there's a path that you see, like there's a wall in front of it, use the Mirror of Truth, and then the wall is gone. It's actually just a hidden passage. So I'm gonna assume the Mirror of Truth is used to unveil this fake Zelda person, or whoever the Zelda is, or if there's anything corrupting or possessing her, she's gonna use the Mirror of Truth to rescue her and free her of whatever is causing this turmoil. And now we finally have all 3 DLC outfits for Link and Zelda. So, as per what I speculated but didn't say, we have Ocarina of Time Link and Ocarina of Time Zelda. So that puts us at Skyward Sword Link, Twilight Princess Link, and Ocarina of Time Link. And then we have Skyward Sword Zelda, Twilight Princess Zelda, and Ocarina of Time Zelda. And it's really, really interesting that they're giving us these skins, and I personally just really like this, because I could be whatever Link I want to be. If I want to be Skyward Sword Link, I'll be Skyward Sword Link. If I want to be, you know, Twilight Link, I'll be that Link. Or the same for Zelda. I'll probably not use the Twilight Princess designs, though, just because I want to see all the other ones. But it's really interesting that they have all these 3, you know, main, one of the biggest Zelda games, I could say. The biggest 3D Zelda games. And I adore this. I love it. And I also love how, even though it's still an HD console, Ocarina of Time Link still looks a little polygon. Still has some polygons to him. You can see it on his face and his eyes. That may just be his eye design, but he still looks polygonal to me. And we still have more information. First off, we have a new weapon for Impa and Lana. So, the new weapon for Impa, for those of you that may not know, is called a Naginata. And what that is that it's a traditional Japanese spear with a sword-like tip. So, this what looks like Impa can be using instead of the giant scimitar blade, which if I do use Impa, this is what I'm going to use. I'm going to use the Naginatas, because the Naginata is such an awesome weapon. It looks like one of her supers can make her create another Naginata and imbue them with fire, like this fire magic, and it's really, really cool to see. Naginatas are just awesome. I love Naginatas. I love spears. Spears are just really cool. And so this really made me more interested in Impa, because at first I didn't care too much about Impa, but now that I know about Impa having a Naginata, I'm really interested in that now. Now we see a new enemy, because we get at least one boss from every game that gets an appearance, and the enemy from this one is Goma. Though this Goma seems to be a bit different, doesn't seem like the exact same Goma. And by that I mean that it has metal claws and like a metal shield-like also claws, I guess you could say. And that when it puts it together, it can block attacks, like projectiles or head-on attacks. So I would assume you want to attack when its weak spot, its big glowing eyeball, is open. Much like every other Zelda game, but it's really cool just to see an improved design of Goma from Ocarina of Time. And it's not exactly Armagoma, because Armagoma is completely covered in metal carapace, but this one is really, really interesting how they're revamping Goma to be more interactive in the fight, because let's be honest, Goma is easy. So we have some new stages as well. We have a new location that is quite resembling of the Kokairi Forest. We have the big Deku tree, which you can actually go into, and he has mushroom and like moss and stuff going on him, so it's kind of sad to see him like that. But then we also have a location that looks like it could be Treetop Town from Donkey Kong Country Tropical. No, not even Tropical Freeze. That's Donkey Kong Country alone. But anyways, it looks like a treetop town. Excuse me. Which could possibly be part of the Kokiri Forest, but you know, who knows? It doesn't look much like it, but we'll have to see and wait for that one. Next location we have is Death Mountain and the Goron Mines. It's so cool to see Death Mountain. Death Mountain. That's the original, well, not the original Death Mountain. Death Mountain's been in almost all the games, but one of the most original iconic Death Mountains with the big flaming rim around the top of it. It's really cool to see that in HD and the path up toward it. And even the go-around mind is really cool. You can even see like the Dodongo graffiti, or not graffiti, but the Dodongo cave patterns on the wall, and even the statues and the designs are so very similar of how they are in Ocarina of Time. And it looks beautiful. Even the shop. I don't know why you're gonna be at the shop, but why not, right? And then next is one of the more impressive locations in my opinion, Lake Hylia. Oh my god, this place is so pretty. Look at all the water. Oh no, look at that, the bridges are down. You can't get to the little island to get the fire arrows. But anyways, this is Lake Hylia, and I can't wait to fight on Lake Hylia. This is awesome. We also have, in this same location, we have the Water Temple, as you can tell by the different squiggly line designs on the wall based on Ocarina of Time 3D. And then there's also Zora's Domain, which is super cool. And it looks like Zora's Domain might be frozen over again. No, I don't think it's frozen over, but it looks frozen, doesn't it, from the picture? I think that's just water, though. But awesome. Awesome to see Zora's Domain, because I actually really love Zora's Domain, and the music to it is great. Oh, and just look at the water, like the glowing water effects on the wall, the lighting. It's beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. But besides new characters, weapons, and stages, we also have new gameplay systems. And what I mean by that is that there is a point in the, or different points in the game throughout different stages where you can find secrets, and if you use different weapons to blow them up, maybe there'll be switches, or maybe there'll be bombable rocks, but under or above or within them will be golden skulltulas. And if you defeat these golden skulltulas, it will allow you to unlock different things within the game. Stuff like character art, or things like maybe even music. I really hope they'll give us the music, but things like character art or stuff you can unlock with this. And I'm interested in that, because I'll definitely go out and try to find all the golden skulltulas I possibly can. You know, just ignoring everything else and going for the golden skulltulas just to unlock art, or hopefully music, because I love the music to this game that I've heard already from gameplay. But I'm gonna stop giving opinions. It's supposed to be facts. Doesn't really matter though, because we're at the end. And the last thing that is new is oh crap! I completely forgot to mention Lana. I'll get to that after this. Anyways, is the boomerang, which is it's a weapon that you can pick up within the outside, sort of like the bombs and the bow and arrow and the hook shot. It's just something you can pick up in a chest, and you can still stun enemies with them, and also somehow through some means you can upgrade it to become the Gale Boomerang and create twisters to decimate your foes. But back to Lana. Lana has a new weapon as well. I can't believe I forgot about that. Oh my goodness. I'm so sorry. I'm looking on my notes, and I didn't write them down on my notes because I was so hastily typing them because I had to get to work. But anyways, for Lana, she has, it's hard to say what Lana's new weapon is. It really is. But one of the, I'm just going to show the few different ones that she seems to use, which is the Deku Leaf from Wind Waker, which will obviously create a big just blast of wind to just blow everyone away. Next she has what looks like a staff in her hand, and that may be what she's using to do all this different nature stuff, because you can see her here summoning what looks like to be the Deku Tree, which is really interesting because it seems like the Deku Tree is sprouting roots and just attacking the enemies with roots and vines. But that staff is really interesting to me, how it's used to, you know, create all these different nature-like Deku stuff. And what confuses me here is that nature and stuff is more closely related to Furore, the goddess Furore, and Lana is, in quote, in theory, supposed to be the embodiment of Nehru. So if Nehru here is using Furore, who's to say her next alternate weapon won't be something that is fire imbued? So maybe Lana, maybe we won't see like a Pharaoh or an LD. We'll just have Lana, who can use all the different goddess-like attributes. And also in the next picture, we see her there with that same staff riding the Deku Scrub, or not the Deku Scrub, excuse me, the Deku Tree Sprout, the Deku Tree Sprout. That's what it's called. I can't believe I'm forgetting all this stuff from Ocarina of Time. The Deku Tree Sprout, which she's riding. It's unclear how that will attack, but you know, it definitely this staff, or the staff she's using, is what she's using to conjure all this nature-like magic. And it'd be really hilarious if it's just called Deku Stick, or Magic Imbued Deku Stick. Who knows? But, you know, it's really interesting to see Lana have a new type of weapon, because I didn't expect her to have a new kind of weapon. And also with Impa getting a new weapon, maybe there's going to be more characters that can also use alternate forms of attacking if they're not limited in the, their design. But that's all the information I could pluck out from this new Hyrule Warriors info. I really hope you guys enjoyed this, and I really hope you guys will continue to watch and continue to, support me, who is making these discussions and analysis for everyone. So, I hope you guys enjoyed this. Please put in the comments everything that you think about all the new information, whether you hate it, whether you like it, whether you wish it was something else. And I will see you guys in the next episode. See you guys then.